Did you know the number of live births to 15 to 19-year-old girls was 367,678 births in 2010, cited from Teen Births 2012? Too many girls are having babies shortly after reaching puberty, which is just too young. We may not be able to stop teens from having sex, but there is a way that could help lower teen pregnancies. The research that I have done has proven to me that sex education should be mandatory in all public schools, and not just the abstinence-only program, but the more comprehensive sex education. The problem is that sex education is not taken seriously, and if they make a comprehensive sex education mandatory in all public schools, then we will see a decrease in both teen pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections among teenagers. The problem with sex education today is that school systems are either not teaching it at all, or they are teaching an abstinence-only version. In one of the articles that I read, it said, research shows abstinence-only strategies could deter contraceptive use among teenagers, thus increasing their risk of unintended pregnancy. By not educating the children about sex, or by only pushing abstinence, we are only hurting them. Yes, abstinence is the best birth control, but if adults are only pushing that, then kids start to wonder what they are missing out on. And because they have no education on contraceptives or ways to protect themselves, we are seeing more teenagers becoming parents and more teenagers struggling with sexually transmitted infections. Most pregnancies are caused by the lack of birth control methods or by the misusage of birth control methods. This is why we need to educate the youth. The solution to the problem is to make a comprehensive sex education mandatory in all public schools. By educating the children, we can help them to stay kids longer, rather than watching as they have to make decisions they should not have to make at this age, and watching as they are forced to grow up and become parents. Here is how we should go about accomplishing this solution. First, we need to come up with a set comprehensive curriculum for sex education that is appropriate for each grade level. Second, get the curriculum approved and pass a law making sex education a mandatory course in all schools throughout the United States. And last, we would need to work it into each school system for the grades 3rd through senior year of high school. By having some kind of gradual educational program each year, it will help the children to be more educated and hopefully help them make the right decisions later in life. In an article I read, it said, researchers at the University of Washington in Seattle found that teenagers who received some type of comprehensive sex education were 60% less likely to get pregnant or get someone else pregnant. This just proves that education is the solution. Accepting the solution is the answer to our problem. Clearly, this is a new time, and the old way of educating the children on sex is not working anymore. We need to up our game by actually educating our children. If we make a comprehensive sex education mandatory in all public schools across the United States, we will see a big decrease in both the teen pregnancy rate and the sexually transmitted infection rate among teenagers. By educating the children on the risks as well as the precautions they should take, we will see much better results, rather than just telling them sex is bad or don't have sex. Mississippi is one of the states that does not require sex education in schools, but when it is taught, abstinence-only education is the state standard. And Mississippi continues to have the highest birth rate with 15 births per 1,000 girls. If parents do not accept that sheltering their children does not keep them from having sex, and that we need to educate the children in the classroom on more than just abstinence, then we are only going to see more and more teen pregnancies. Roland Martin believes this change needs to be made and said in his article, too many parents are living in denial about their children having sex, and somehow saying you'll handle the tough stuff is living in fantasy land. Cited from CNN Opinion 2011. Educating the youth on sex is the solution, because keeping them in the dark is clearly not working anymore. By making a comprehensive sex education program mandatory in all public schools, We will help decrease the teen pregnancy rate along with the sexually transmitted infection rate among teenagers. Make a difference by educating and informing the youth in our country. This will only help them. I know way too many people that have become parents far too early in their lives. I have seen them make the tough decisions that come along with teen pregnancies, watching as they make the decision to give their child up and the difficulties they face choosing to raise their child. Educating the children in our country will help allow them to be kids longer. No one should have to grow up at the age of 15 or 16 to be a parent. We need to make sex education mandatory so that we can decrease the number of teen pregnancies we see and lower the rate of sexually transmitted infections among teenagers.